Okay, so we're going to start with assignment 3 here. And, when we're going through the reading this week, there's a chapter about color and depth. And it's kind of tucked in there and it doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. But it's my opinion that color and depth are the most important. It's the most important chapter of the entire course. And it's how you can use value and saturation alongside hue to make compositions and designs dynamic and more, not three-dimensional necessarily, but yeah, build the creation of space so it gives sort of an illusion of dimension. So I guess that is three-dimensional. So anyway, this assignment's pretty straightforward. We have to make a design using circles, and we have to use our one of the sets, either this one, the traditional additive or subtractive, and we have to use those colors, that interval, to create the design. So first thing we want to do is create the design, and I'll just do some squares here, or a square to start with. We're only allowed to use circles, so if you're an illustrator, just set your circle tool there, or oval, and if you're in Photoshop, I guess do kind of the same thing. From there, hold the shift key down. This is what it looks like if you don't hold the shift key. As soon as I touch the shift key, look at that. Pretty cool. And we have to start sort of doing this and thinking about how we're going to create depth. Overlapping, change in scale, those are big things that we're going to be using. So I want things going off the edge of the page. Absolutely all four sides of your design should be touched by your shapes. You should have something going off all four sides. I'm actually just going to make a circle sort of starter there. Okay, so then, starting to squeeze out the space there. I don't know what I'm doing yet, okay? I'm playing around with it. I want to get things sort of set up so we've got some layers going on. Here, we'll stick one of those in there. This is always a fun trick. You can make hoops. We'll do that in a second, though. Okay, so there's a start, maybe some something on top here, maybe even some smaller ones. Yeah, even smaller there. Let's do that. I like that one, so let's maybe copy that one a couple times. Stick it there, and I'm going to actually force that towards the back. Okay, so I don't know, whatever, right? Seems like a fine design to start with. So now here's the nice thing. You can just go into your Illustrator file, select your interval. Actually, let's select both of our intervals. Sure, let's get the labels too. Why not? Let's stick those in here. Okay, so now we've got these. Here, I'll stick one more circle in there just for the sake of having it all there. Okay, so now what do I want to do? I want to copy and paste this design because it's similar to what we did with the high key and low key thing, where we're working on a single design using different color schemes. Here I'm going to maybe take this one over here, this one over here, and we'll get the presentation figured out in a little bit. We'll also crop these down. So right now we're just sort of working on getting the designs built. So first thing I need to know is this background color. This background color is going to be the background color, right? It's the darker, duller, cooler color. And then stuff that's farther in the background, stuff that's pretty far away. I'm just going to do the one on the left. I'll let you guys work through that. You may have to zoom in if you're like me and you can't hit anything. There we go. Okay, so then we're on this one here. I think probably that in front of there. And remember I mentioned that we wanted to make a hoop, so we have to fill that color in the middle there. So what was that? That was this color there. So now And mine, I would say this is probably more simple than you want it to be. You want to play with it just a little bit more. Maybe add a little more variety in your circles. I've got, what, maybe 12, something like that, 12 circles here. You could probably go with 20. Okay, so there's our design. Now, the next step, before we do anything, we need to know if the depth works. I've got it outlined, so there's no way we're going to be able to see good color depth on this. So at this point, I'm just going to select the whole design, right? Selected the whole design, and then I'm going to turn my stroke off. Okay, can't really see much of a difference there, but there we go. So now you can see what's going on here. We've got higher contrast areas popping forward, along with lighter and brighter areas popping forward. We've got a darker, duller, cooler background with some of the darker, duller, muddier shapes in the background. And that's working pretty well, I think. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that background shape, I'm going to copy and paste. Now stick it on there, it should line up. If it doesn't, you can actually grab your background shapes, both of them. Did you see how I did that? And then I'm going to use my align tools, and I'm going to vertically or horizontally and vertically align them. Now they're going to be lined up. And so now I've got this big green sandwich, right, with the design in between. Easy enough at this point. Object, clipping mask, make, or just Command 7, Control 7. And there we go. So design number 1 is done. Doesn't look like it came through. Oh, no, I guess it did. Thought the crop looked bad here, but no, that's fine. That came out fine. So that would be the first one, and then from there you just repeat the same process for the second one, and then we get to see how the different designs work. If you want to go, if you find that your design doesn't quite have the depth that you want, you can come in. I really don't mind if you do this. Change your interval, right? Now we can stick these, edit the colors that way. And you see, it's really not too bad. It's a pretty simple process once you get that foundation laid. So anyway, 7.5 minutes is more than enough time to make you guys sit. Now it's time to go do stuff. So play around with them. See what you can come up with. You want lots of contrast with light, bright, warm up front, dark, dull, cool in the back, and good overlapping, interesting design. So, all right.